What is up, everybody? And in this video, I'll be walking you through my exact method that I learn things faster than 99% of agency owners and people trying to start a business. So if you don't know me, my credentials is I scaled my social media marketing agency to 40K a month in 8 months. So that was very, very quick compared to a lot of agency owners, and I contribute that mostly to how fast I learned. So first, I'll be explaining my alternate learning method that is not very common, so you can actually do exactly what I did. And at the end of this video, I'll be showing you my exact 5 books that actually grew my business the way it did. So first, let's dive into my exact method that I did when I was starting off to learn things extremely quick. So the alternative to books, which you might be wondering, books are fantastic, why are you saying something other than books? I find that most business books are absolute garbage. So that's a bold statement to make, but let me explain. So obviously we read books to actually grow our business. The reason we're reading business books is to make more money, to scale as fast as we can. But the thing that authors do is that publishers require a certain amount of pages within their books. So they'll require 400 pages for this book to get published, and a lot of authors have 4 key points to a book and just use the other pages to actually back up their points and prove the point longer. So most books can be summarized in a blog post. So this is why I actually stopped reading business books, because I realized it was productive procrastination to actually doing more work on the business. So this is how I learned the fastest way I could, right? So this is you right here. Here's a little stick man. Let's just think about it for a second here. And then what I like doing is having people above you, people at your level, and people below you. So this all comes down to networking. So let's start off with people above you. The reason we want people above us is to learn. That is a simple answer. We want to learn as quick as we possibly can. And the thing I did, starting off, is looked at people one step ahead of me. Because the reason we don't want people 10 steps ahead of us at $1 million a month, $5 million a month, is because they're not at the level that we need to learn from. So what I would do if I was you, let's say you're at 5K a month or 0K a month with your agency, which is probably most of my viewers who want to scale an agency very quick, look at people who are 1 to 3 steps ahead of you. So what I mean by that is you want to look for people at 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month, in that range. And what I did is join communities, went on social media, and just reached out to them. Hey, how much can I pay you for 1 hour of your time? And even if it's like $500 an hour, which is probably it if you're paying for someone 20, 30K a month, they're probably gonna charge you that much. But what you need to do is prepare a list of burning questions you have for them and ask them and pay for it. And if you have more burning questions, pay for another hour. Because those lessons that they can teach you with a 2-minute response is invaluable. It's fantastic. So we need a person above to teach us exactly what to do with our next steps within the next month. And you need to learn this information because they're a step ahead of you and they've just done it. The people at $1 million a month are focused on growing that 1 million, 5 million a month software business, which they're not even in your business model. They probably forgot about 90% of the things that you need to know. They don't care about you doing your cold calls. They don't care about you using proper tonality on sales calls. The people at 10K a month do, because they're doing it actively. So now we have a person above you and a person at the same level, or people at the same level. The reason for this is it creates competition. I had a problem when I was growing my agency starting off, because I found most people were not doing the same thing that I was doing in my real life, right? So people in my area where I live, I was a 1% person trying to scale this business at 19 years old. I had nobody doing the same thing as me. So I needed to make friends online that were doing the same thing. And the reason we need to do this is because it creates a sense of competition. You need actual accountability in what you're doing right now. Because if you're holding yourself accountable, and you're probably not that disciplined yet because you haven't grown a business before, you don't know what it takes. I didn't. I couldn't hold myself accountable. So I'm like, hey man, let's create a group chat with some agency owners and let's just compete. Let's try to grow our agencies as fast as we can. And you need external accountability when you cannot get internal accountability. Because you need to develop the skill of internal accountability. Right now, I can make a promise to myself that I'll go to the gym 7:30 every morning. I'll diet with this many calories. As an example, I'll do this amount of content every week, 3 videos a week. I'll do this amount of ads today, and I can do that now. But that took a year's worth of development, internal development. So if you're like me when I was starting out, you probably don't have that yet. You're probably going to aim for 200 cold calls and do 100 and go, oh, that's fine. Like, I booked 3 appointments. That's enough. When do you need to book 6 to 7, right? As an example. So we need people above us. We need people at the same level. Lastly, we need people below us. So we have above, the same, and below now. So the reason we have people below us is because we teach them. And we don't want to spend hours of our day teaching them and giving away free stuff because you need to work on your business. That's your number one priority. But I love having people below me because I re-emphasize the principles that I need to know to grow my business all of the time. So as an example, one of the big reasons I enjoy making these videos is because I'm remembering all of the things that it took for me at 0K a month, making no money with no money in my bank account. And I'm just like giving advice to my previous self. So if I saw these videos when I was broke with no money, as an example, I'd be way better off. So I love making these videos because I'm just learning, playing back the clips in my mind of when I was at 0K a month. So you need people above you to learn from. You need people at the same level to compete with and hold you accountable and race to a certain place. I love doing that, like first one to 10K a month. The loser runs a marathon or some bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Just hold yourself accountable in some way. Then below you is teaching, so you remember everything. So those are the 3 steps that I use to actually grow my business as quick as possible because we're learning, we're competing, and we're teaching. So I absolutely love that. So I think most books are BS, if I'm going to be honest. Like the point in the beginning of this video, I believe most are bluffing when it can be summarized in a blog post. The reason I usually don't read business books anymore, unless it's an incredible business book that someone I trust recommended to me, and they believe that, Joe, I know you think the books are bad, but read this one. I take a multidisciplinary approach. What that means is I look at things that contribute to business in a way that is indirect. Let's use this as an example. I read books from biology, psychology, philosophy, human behavior. That's a whole different type of thing than business, you might say. But all of these things contribute to your business, if you like it or not. Because those are what makes up, that's what makes up business as a whole. These sub-disciplines, these other disciplines, all carry into business. So let's use biology as an example. I'm reading a book right now. I would pull it up, but it's somewhere over here. Let's actually grab the book. It's called The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. So this book is a foundational evolutionary biology book. You might be wondering, Joe, how the hell does that contribute to your business? Because it's basic biology. All of us are humans. We run off very similar evolutionary processes. We're all driven by evolutionary processes that have been in us for thousands and millions of years. Once you learn about what drives we have as humans, the premise of the book is that every human is trying to preserve and pass on their genes. And they have these selfish tendencies that make us do that, right? We just want to carry on the genes and reproduce. And that is caused by status, that is caused by looks, how healthy you are, obviously broad shoulders for men, whatever for females, hip to waist ratio. It's a bunch of things. But this is just literally foundational to us as humans. So that was a side tangent, but these things grow your business because it's just how humans operate. And it carries on to business because we're all humans. We all have the same tendencies, right? So read books that contribute to business how to influence people, psychology, philosophy, how to act, how humans act. It is all fantastic to learn. Just read the founding fathers of these disciplines, like Darwin, even as an example, are fantastic. Let's get on to my favorite 5 books that I use to learn and actually influence me the most. Let's start off with a traditional business one, which is absolutely fantastic. It is called Influence by Robert Cialdini, and this is recommended by Alex Ramosi the most. But if you're going to grow a business, you need to know how to influence people. You're literally selling the product to make your money. That's how you live. You need to be able to influence people in a good way. Law of reciprocity, social proof, all of these things contribute to growing your business. And you need to know how to persuade people, and this book is fantastic to do that. Next, the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Naval Ravikant is an angel investor. He founded Angels List, which is I believe, a software to connect founders with people who invest in the startups. I believe that's what they do. But it is a phenomenal book in terms of how to actually be disconnected in your business and grow your business without you being a full-time employee. Because there's a difference between working in the business and on the business. So working on the business is hiring 3 people to do cold calls. In the business is being a full-time employee and cold calling for 7 hours a day. So you need to know how to disconnect yourself successfully from the business to grow it. Because as soon as you do that, you have something that earns in your sleep versus you just being an employee again. It's 2 complete different things. This book is also great for just general human behavior things like meditation and actually focusing on the business and just living your life in a great way. But it's all around the fantastic book, just summarizing Naval's ideas. Next. This book is called Principles by Ray Dalio. Fantastic book. Ray Dalio is a hedge fund investor, multi-billion-dollar net worth. The premise of the book is that everybody needs principles to live by and principles in their business to actually grow the business. Because if you don't have principles in your life or in your business, you're just like a tumbleweed being blown in the wind every day. So you have nothing you stand by, you have nothing to operate by, the company has no culture. So this is just a set of Ray Dalio's principles, and he encourages you to create principles for yourself like he did for himself and his companies. So just having direct access to someone who has actually grown many successful businesses, a hedge fund that's multi-million dollars, he shares his personal principles and his company's personal principles, and they're fantastic. It's great mental models within that book. Next, you might be wondering, why the hell are you putting a philosophy book in this list? So this is Epictetus's Discourses. He was a Roman Stoic philosopher. I believe I have that correct. And I have read this book more than 6 times. Probably way more, to be honest. But this absolutely changed my mindset when I read it. It teaches you how to act logically instead of emotionally, because in business, your emotions really don't matter too much. You need to make logical decisions when you're actually making massive decisions like hiring, dealing with angry people on a sales call, dealing with people yelling at you. And he teaches you how to step back from it and not get affected by it. So it's a fantastic book. It is a more so difficult read compared to the other ones I actually recommended. If you don't want to go to advanced philosophy, read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. That's like introductory philosophy. I'd recommend that very much just for also mental models. But that's a fantastic book. It's actually shaped my life a lot. Lastly, last book I'd recommend is The Bezos Letters by Steve Anderson. So Jeff Bezos every year for the last 20 plus years did a letter to shareholders, his shareholders of Amazon, and basically walk them through what they're doing at the company, what he learned in the year, what mistakes he made, and what they're doing for the future. So it's a direct report into Bezos' brain while he's growing a multi-billion-dollar company at this point. So it's fantastic because it applies directly to your business, and the mental models are actually great. And this author, Steve Anderson, took the Bezos letters and condensed it down into his principles and made it more digestible instead of just reading thousands of pages of letters. So fantastic book. I'd highly recommend that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later. Bye.